And we're done.
Thank you.
All right.
Peace.
Another episode in the books.
Yes, that's...
If this goes well, guys, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
They take the
Dad.
ball pits out.
I know.
Wait, what?
I know.
They're taking the ball pits out.
Save it for
why
the,
you can't
save it
talk-
for the show.
That's why you
Sorry.
can't talk about stuff before the show.
That's right.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Start. Here.
Yeah, I mean, we're already...
Oh, we're ready to
we
go?
have to start to
It's
do
okay.
Periscope
Dan,
part. So
God.
it's a false start every time.
False
so.
start
give
every
him,
single
give him a
time.
breath.
Here we go, guys. Oh, man. Already messed up. There we go. And we are the Coinboys, everybody. Your average, everyday crypto, gaming, and technology bros. I am one of your hosts at DGutierrez84. Daniel Gutierrez on Twitter. Nope. Switch that. Next to me is our guest host, Christian. Christian, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, my name's Christian Humes. I am a host on a number of other shows that I do, Unranked. I do
Yeah, plug them.
Ultimate
Plug 'em
Fiction
all.
Character Podcast. And I met Andy when we had you and Andy on
Yes.
during E3 on our show.
We went to
when we
E3. I was in a glass box. It was really
Oh,
interesting.
that's where you guys were when I got there a little later. You guys
Yeah.
got there early.
You could have been in the glass
Yeah.
box with us.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Wait, what day was that? First day, second
It's
day?
the last day.
Oh,
was the
last.
last
Okay.
day.
Final day.
Because Andy was a little tore up that second day.
Andy
That's
was
good.
going crazy. But yes, and next to Christian, we have...
Yes, Aaron, aka Sanity, at Sanity Crypto on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff.
So
What's up, guys?
thanks, you guys, for coming. We are... Once again, we are powered by Mobcrush. You can see us right now live on Mobcrush, but don't
In the
forget,
lovely studio.
we also have our own handles at Coinboys Podcast. You can also see us on YouTube, Facebook, DLive, your Game Boy Advanced, probably. Who knows?
Even LinkedIn.
Oh, leave
Maybe
LinkedIn,
on your
yes.
maybe on your
Under-
sidekick. You
under
could
the thing.
no, I don't think.
Oh,
LinkedIn's a more fun social network
Yes.
than Facebook.
Bring back the
these days.
sidekick, I
That's
said.
right. Oh, man.
Do you think I heard rumors they're going to bring back the sidekick, by the way.
They should.
Yeah.
People get very nostalgic.
Why
They
not?
bring back the Razor.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of like the
Yeah.
Moto Razor, but it's not the screen on the outside, not the screen on the inside too. So
But yeah,
I'd be down for it. I like the
That's-
flip phone. That was that.
I'm still waiting for my papyrus. All right, guys.
Yeah.
And then next, we also have Mr. Behind the Ones and Twos, Sam Proof.
Hey, everybody, what's going on?
The
How's your weekend
indispensable
been?
Sam.
Yeah, the indispensable Sam Proof.
Hey.
When
It
you're
was
gone,
good.
I start to cry.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm hitting all the buttons, and we have all new buttons. So if anything breaks, it's my fault.
Oh.
I
It's gonna be-
reset so many things.
It's going to be a great day,
Is
guys.
it buttons in different places or just new and shiny buttons?
Mostly duplicated buttons on new layer, like new like dashboards, like
Mhm.
additional consoles, because I'm limited to 15 buttons. And then Dan threw me one curveball by sending a video in Block News, so I had to like.
Listen, we
Triplicate
must
everything.
innovate. We must keep everybody on their toes. We can't just show you pictures if there's video.
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah.
let's do this, guys.
There's more coming.
Yeah.
Let's do
More
this.
content.
But how was your guys' weekend? What'd you guys do?
Start with me. I actually got some relaxation, which was great. Got to Borderlands 3 got delivered. I'll
Which we will
talk
get
about
to
that more.
momentarily.
Yeah.
But I have to say that's what the weekend entailed. I have to keep up with all my friends and everything. So, I was happy. So got to just hang out, got to relax a little bit, and definitely got my game on. That was important.
Nice. What'd you
Yeah.
do, Christian?
Also Borderlands, of course. But we had this like really uncomfortable couch, and we had a small bed at home, and we just got a brand new bed and a brand new couch. And
Oh.
we got a king size bed. So, I mean,
California King or just went with
regular
king?
size.
See, you got.
You
I like it.
don't
You're
you
not
lose,
fancy.
Like some like width on the couch. It's
Ca-
like one shorter than
But
the other.
yes, there's a
It's-
California King is wider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
or a regular King is longer.
And the cats and the dogs sleep at the feet, so
Oh,
I don't want
was gonna say that's a perfect.
don't want to lose that.
Yeah, no,
So I
Cats
got
and dogs.
I got some relaxation.
That's good. Especially on a new
Nice.
bed, new
Yeah.
couch.
It's great.
Yeah, and that's why you guys come here for mattress analysis, guys.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel also said if we do well on this show, he was going to take us to Chuck E. Cheese.
I know.
Which you butchered the beginning. So
I did.
no Chuck E.
but
Cheese for you.
We're still going. We're still going. They're still on the table. Chuck E. Cheese is always on the table. But I was told that I just recently took my daughter to Chuck E. Cheese, and they took out the ball pits. But I was told because of like feces.
Oh.
Well, it's always been feces, man. Those ball pits have
That's
always
how
been
I
disgusting.
like.
Yeah.
Listen, we no longer have. We have people who don't want to, take those immunization shots. So I think this is a good way to introduce immunizations to the
no
child.
one likes pink eye.
Yeah, that's true.
I at a it was Showbiz Pizza on the East Coast, which I think Chuck E. Cheese bought them all out, and I had to be like 6 or something, and I saw a dirty diaper that was in the ball
Yeah.
pit at the Orlando Showbiz Pizza.
Did you throw it?
I
would've
did
thrown
not.
it. I would have thrown it somewhere.
Yeah, we had the same thing. We had like Berserkus and Fun Zone in the Northeast.
Oh, yeah. See, I'd never heard of
And
those
then-
either.
And
Yeah.
then those all just get
Oh.
combined.
Yeah,
into-
Chuck E. Cheese,
Like, Chuck E.
which
Cheese
an
always
unsustainable
dominated over
business
here.
model apparently because they've been struggling through.
Dude, everything's $1 there now. Not even worth it.
Yeah.
Not even worth it anymore.
Arcades are bleeding you now. Everything's $1.
Well, I wanted to go there this weekend because it was my birthday on Saturday,
That's right.
and I had nothing
Happy
else
birthday,
to do. Well,
Daniel.
thank you. And all I did was recap my entire life and cry. That's basically
no.
all you do. You're just like,
I do that weekly.
I'm nowhere near what I wanted to be at the age of 35. I have no
Oh.
hair. There's so many things wrong right now. But it was nice and chill with my daughter. I went swimming for the first time, even though we're not technically in summer, or we still are at the tail end.
It's still
Yeah, we're
hot
still-
as balls,
summer,
man.
It's
It's
so
summer
freaking
for like
hot.
another few days.
Another few-
right?
I know
yeah.
Labor Day is supposed to like mark it when summer's
Wow.
over, but
It's
I
like
still
the
wear
hottest
white.
part of the
What
year
up?
in LA is right now.
Oh, yeah.
So-
It's just
Yeah.
so it was worth it to go swimming. It was nice. I took my daughter swimming. She had a ball. She had a blast. It was cheap, free. We're good to go, guys.
That's awesome.
Mr. Sam Proof, what did you do over the weekend?
Whoa.
Hi.
Oh, those new buttons.
Button, wrong button.
I actually was working until about midday Saturday still, working on a secret project with the CEO here.
For
so-
here, Mobcrush, a secret project.
Yeah, so super fun weekend for me.
Mm.
And then
Nice.
most of the rest of the weekend was just like not going out, not doing anything.
Yeah.
I was just gonna sit here.
Go
and
on
relax.
lockdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
prescribed relaxation.
Do you watch? Okay, I watch football. Like, does anybody else watch football?
I
Not
do
really.
not enjoy the sports ball,
Not-
sir.
Yeah, not so
into
much.
it.
Foosball's the
then-
devil.
I'm in a fantasy league, but I don't actually watch any of it.
It's funny.
How do you play if you're not in
Well,
a fantasy league?
Have
Somebody
someone else
tells
do
you
it.
if you've won or not.
I'm the co-captain.
Oh, co-captain. So that means somebody couldn't draft that day, so they needed you to go in for him, or what happened?
That's
yeah,
so
basically.
funny.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, shout out to all those who are in fantasy leagues like me and just watch football all day Sunday. It feels nice sometimes to just have a couple beers and watch somebody else play games, which is what I do here anyways. So it works
One of my
out.
favorite memes was fantasy football is just Dungeons and Dragons for people who suck at
Yeah.
fantasy and football.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is. It's like, oh, what's my stats? Oh, okay,
I like-
change them. Oh,
I like them both. I like them both.
Yeah.
I would totally play fantasy D&D
Oh,
where other people are playing and I just
and you
Yeah.
bet on
And
them
like
playing?
the sort of like like the quick version of it. Like my paladin leveled up, super great.
Nice.
I
I get
didn't
points
do
for your.
anything.
I get points for your paladin leveling up.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now
Uh,
fantasy D&D.
You might want to trademark that idea, Sam. It
Oh,
might
I'm
be
sure
a
people-
$1,000 idea.
With the amount of like D&D tabletop game stream shows there are, I'm certain
That's
people have
true.
already gamified it, where like you pick which character you're gonna
Oh,
get
sure.
at the beginning of the season.
Nice.
Well, that's been crazy how popular that's gotten now. It's just
Oh,
people
yeah.
watching the
Yeah.
D&D with the post production on it and stuff like, or animating it and everything. Those are a lot of fun.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks to D&D, we got the one Vin Diesel movie that he did. It was his D&D character, and I'm forgetting what it was, but it was close.
Riddick?
Yeah, Riddick.
Oh, right.
It wasn't Riddick.
Oh,
It was something similar to Riddick, and he's like, "I made it in D&D." I'm
oh,
like,
that's
"Don't be
right,
so
because he's a
proud of
huge
it."
dork. Yeah, I know. And
Don't be s-
he
it's
had
not a great character.
he had to close his studio, Tygon Games, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Which I liked the Riddick movie, the original Riddick movie, and
Wow.
which was Pitch Black.
Yes,
That was great, and then the games were fun. I didn't really dig the other
didn't-
one. Yeah.
Then he went down.
and then everything happened.
Now we're
Also,
all focused
everything
on
else
Rock.
got better.
Yeah,
Right?
That's
like all
true.
science fiction and comic book movies and like everything is so much better now. At the
Mhm.
time, that seemed
yeah.
like that was a
Back in
high
the day,
bar for
kids,
its
when it
time.
was something weird, we were like, "Ooh, unique."
He's got all the Fast and Furious money. He'll be okay.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
The Rock took it all over now.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Groot from
Yeah.
Guardians. So
He was so
Got
so
Marvel
proud
money.
of that.
Yeah.
By the way, and all he did was one line, but he's like, "I did it every time on my own." I'm like, "Great, good job for you." Go. Anyways,
Go get it, Vin.
well, guys, let's get into our first part of the show. It's block news. Oh, we do lasers, by the way.
okay.
We do lasers for our transition.
For transitions,
Yes.
since we don't have money for sound effects. All right, so first up,
One day. Yeah.
one day when we get the budget, guys. First up, Apple Arcade
Mhm.
coming out September 19th.
Yeah, it's coming up soon, and it's exciting.
What is Do you think it's worth it? Do you think that it's
So they're basically charging $5 a month.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be getting exclusive games. Will not end up on any other platforms.
Actually no.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mobile exclusive. So
Mobile exclusive.
Oh, mobile exclusive. Because I'm like, they have stuff like Konami and other stuff too. So mobile exclusive. That's a big difference right there. So good catch on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no other mobile devices will have it, which is going to be pretty cool to have that stuff in your pocket.
Right.
$5 a month. Okay, yeah, you're paying $60 a year. That's not a bad rate since games are generally $60, and I'm sure the variety might be nice. It all just boils down to how much time do I have to play anything, whether I'm sitting on my ass on my phone or in front of my TV and everything. It's time. So
yeah, I don't
I'll
know
check
if
it out.
it's something I personally am in. I mean, I have an Apple, I have an iPhone. But I don't know if it's something I would personally do. My battery drains fast enough already.
My iPad Pro is a beast, though. It takes like 2 full days to charge, but then it lasts. I don't have to charge it for like 3 straight days. Even though I'll use it, I'll set it up with some of my Xbox companion stuff. So when I was playing the Need for Speed and everything, you're going and you're like, I'm just gonna spike strip at you, jerk.
Oh, have you done the OneCast app?
No, I haven't.
So that's what I'm doing right now on my iPad Pro. Is so you can use your iPad kind of like you can do with Windows devices, and you can stream your Xbox to your iPad. So I was playing like Borderlands in bed, like with my Xbox controller pairs. You don't want to do it unless your console's on Ethernet because you'll just run into too much like lag.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have OneCast for like Mac. It might be on PC, iOS. I just played in bed the other day. Borderlands 3. It's awesome.
I remember seeing something a few years ago where it was like some guy set up a FaceTime from his phone to his iPad so he could sit in the bathroom and still play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Well, he was just FaceTiming, so there was lag, of course, but I'm still like, he's living in the future, man.
The amount of lag that you get when you're streaming, sometimes I feel like I'm looking like an idiot when I'm playing these games. I'm like, ugh.
That's true.
But by the way, guys, we are. I'm taking a look at the chat. So if you guys are on the chat, say what's up. Say hi to everybody. How's everybody doing? And let me know if you guys would actually pay $5 a month for this Apple.
Well, one thing that's cool about it, which without this it wouldn't be worth it, is the new software coming out, like iOS 13, which is very soon or like any day now. You'll be able to use your Xbox One or PS4 controller with your phone.
Oh,
so now those games
wireless pairing.
Yeah, so they'll directly connect to your device. So that actually makes a really big difference. So I'm probably not going to get it at least right away, especially because I have like Game Pass Ultimate and I use that all the time.
Yeah.
But for $5 a month, if I didn't have something like Game Pass and Borderlands, like I would definitely at least try it out.
Yeah, I mean it's worth trying it out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get it for a few months just to see how it goes. But that's amazing news because it's about time I upgrade my phone because every time they do an upgrade, my iPhone 7 gets a little slower.
Sure.
Thanks, Tim Apple.
Oh my god, there's 2 things that upgrade without my permission always: my computer, which I hate, and then my phone all the time. And I'm like, I work in the middle of the night, and that's when they choose to upgrade. And I'm like, oh god, and I'm like, pause.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No, the computer's the worst because it's like, oh, do you want to update? No, go away. Do you want to update? No, go away. And then it comes up, hey, we're updating. Go F yourself. And I'm like, what? What's going on? I didn't approve this.
Phoenix Wings, by the way, I love it. Phoenix. Let me know
Phoenix
how.
Wing.
I love it because I also have a 6S. Let me know how Fortnite plays on that one because every time I try to play Fortnite on there, it just burns my hands. I have to wear oven mitts.
I mean, that's 4 generations old now. So which for a phone is a lot.
I teach people in China how to speak English.
Yeah.
One of the students that I teach actually designs the case and for
my
the
goodness.
iPhones.
Wow.
So he
they let him out of the factory to actually talk to you for an hour?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But thank you, Phoenix Wings. It is great apparently. But the he said that the 6S was the last good phone that they made, and all the new phones now they have little issues. But he's looking forward to the next one actually.
Yeah.
So
the 11 that's coming out, or the one after that?
No, the 11.
The new one.
Because the one after that, I saw that Apple was looking into changing to USB-C instead of the proprietary charging, which I'm like, oh, please, thank you.
Which they did on the new iPad. Like,
did they
the
already?
Pros are USB-C now.
The world needs to be USB-C.
Yeah.
It's going to be happening.
We need to, yes. That's another thing. Mac kills me with their individual. I have so many complaints about this, but their individual own stuff. Stop it! I know why you do it. You want my money, but
yeah, every single generation of MacBook has a different charger. So you're like, oh, do you have a charger for your MacBook? No, not the old one, the old one, but not that one, that old. Just kind of newish old. I know.
Choose.
They used to have the MagSafe, so that like if you tripped on the wire or pulled it, it was just a magnetic connector.
Yeah.
And
Do
when
they not have that anymore?
Well, no, they switched over to USB-C for everything, which is great. But now you don't want
Oh.
to tug on your power cord.
'Cause
There's like
it's-
third-party companies that make like a MagSafe like adapter.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
It was like one of the best things that they had on their computer.
Well, see,
Oh, absolutely. Because
I'm
I've
used to not
tripped on
having-
my wife's like cord all the time.
Yeah.
I would have ripped the thing off the table or whatever, or broke the cable or so.
I'm
yeah.
used to not having it because I'm on PC. So like,
Right.
just don't trip on your cord.
Well, I've like
Everything
my
needs
dog.
to be wireless.
no,
Tesla,
Sam.
everything.
Okay, maybe the actual Tesla, not the Musk. But
Right.
Gotta
The
clarify.
original
we got to clarify which Tesla. now.
Nikolai Tesla.
Tesla
dream,
1.0,
the
not
wonder
2.0.
dream. Yeah, electricity in everything.
Everything
All
all over
just
the place.
broadcast from like blimps.
Oh man.
We could have had that.
Yeah.
The things that we could have done if it wasn't for stupid Edison. Guys, let's talk about problems of the 20s. Let's
It's a new segment,
These
everybody.
rickets are killing me.
Ugh. All right. Moving on to the next story. I thought this was interesting because I know we on the Coinboys podcast
Mhm.
we did an interview with these guys who did a VR. It was a virtual reality concert.
Oh yeah, Miro shot.
Miro shot.
Yeah,
But Bjork, and of course it's going to be Bjork,
because she's weird.
finally did her first ever VR album, and it's the only VR album.
VR album. I thought it was a song. It's a whole album.
It's a whole album that they did in VR. Originally, she wanted, so it's the only one that's released. There are other people who have albums that are in VR albums that add, so it just adds really cool visuals while you're watching. So there's
Oh, I'm sure they're going to be absolutely bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
Like acid tripping nut job fun. I'm going to check it out.
I'm excited for it, but it's still VR music, so
In the 3D space, or is it just like
Good question.
it's a 360 video as far as I can tell from there may be in the video a little bit, but there's some animated aspects to it, but there's a lot of live action from what I saw. You guys are seeing it on
Yeah.
the screen right now because I threw that curveball at Sam. Did they get it?
Oh yeah, it's on and it's super creepy.
That's really freaky. So,
Christian, do you have a VR?
No, I'm gonna get an Oculus Quest probably, but
Oculus is
I
great
really
entry
kind of want to
level.
wait for like the next iteration.
Yeah, because they had the Oculus Go, which was like, I knew people got that, and I was like, wait, please,
Yeah.
no, don't get that, because the Quest was coming soon.
And it's
And-
much better.
I mean, yeah, the Quest is ideal, and that's the whole thing we want, right? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be able to take this thing out of a bag or backpack, and you put it on, and you get transported away without. I mean, I have the Rift, not the Rift S, it's the original Rift, and my badass PC, but I'm tethered there. I've got wires with different sensors around and everything, so it's kind of inconvenient. I have a nice little space for it, but the Quest, that's the dream. Everybody just
Yeah.
wants to be able to plug in from anywhere.
after I left your interview, when we went to E3, I won an Oculus.
Did you?
Rift
Yeah,
S.
because
Where?
the
From
Oculus
Oculus.
booth had like it was always empty, and I was like, oh, it's just photo booth, and I heard one of the girls going, oh, we have to tag this, and you're entering the sweepstakes, and I was like, what sweepstakes? And because it was the smallest lines of all E3,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, well, I don't think a lot of people are probably smashing this sweepstakes, so I was like, guys, let's go take
Yeah, that's
pictures.
smart.
I was there every day taking pictures and getting hashtags. He went in one time,
One time.
does a hashtag with his picture, and wins an Oculus Rift S. So, but
That's
he
pretty good.
does.
Which I can't use.
I know he hasn't upgraded his PC yet. So
This is my PC.
we're
right in front of
trying
you
to
guys.
find. I'm trying to convince you to sell it for like $40 below MSRP.
and get the
and
Quest.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
I used the Quest at E3. I played the canoeing.
Oh, you
stealth
played
game.
the
Oh, we
stealth
played that
canoe
as
game?
well.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
did you play it or did Andy play it?
I
Andy
played it too. Andy played it
both
first. He got stuck in the bushes, and he's like, because I was on the pod, I didn't want to like look like I got stuck, so I was like doing stuff. I was like, I don't know how I got stuck in the bushes, but he hasn't kayaked before. Got to just believe,
You
bro.
have to-
I want to
VR
play the
was real.
updated version because the build they had at the time, they couldn't do this stuff. He was like, "Oh, we're adding that," and I was like, "Can I hit the person in my canoe?" I was like, "Can I throw it like it's a javelin?" He was
Oh.
like, "Not yet." I was like, "Ah."
But it's
gonna
be- Well, we're gonna have them on pretty soon. They reached out to us to re-interview
demo
for,
it.
for
Awesome.
Yeah.
updates and all that
It was
stuff. So
great.
we'll definitely check it out.
It was a lot of fun.
I
It
hope
was,
soon.
and I just love the way they did it. They're like, we wanted to build functionality first. Does what we're doing feel real? Cool. Now we're in a kayak. How do we make this a fun game?
Yeah.
It became tactical kayak adventure stealth stuff. So it was pretty cool. It was a cool little demo, cool concept, and it doesn't make you sick because you're sitting, and then
No.
you're also doing that, so you don't get the whole motion disassociation that happens
Yeah.
with VR.
Oh,
So-
good then. I didn't get to play. I was holding the camera stick.
That's right.
Plus,
he was
I would have
cameraman.
been worse in the bushes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So moving on to our next one is something that was absolutely inevitable. GameStop is closing
Oh,
180
yes.
to 200 stores throughout the country, and get ready for more. Is all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, this was right after the Game Informer layoffs, which I get it. Physical media is hard, especially physical gaming publications. Apparently, they were doing great though. They were still getting a lot of eyeballs on there and everything, but it's a medium that is disappearing, and I don't blame them at all for closing their lowest performing stores. Like, they see the writing on the wall. They know. They said in the interview, like, the world is changing and the way things are going. We're doing this to keep up with everything right now. They may know that they have to go fully digital at some point, or if all games go digital and we can't share anymore, their biggest profit is reselling of old games, and stuff like that. So they either become a retro gaming place, or they've got to evolve somehow to have their own subscription or something like that.
Yeah. When's the last time you guys went to GameStop?
I got sick of the harassment to always reserve stuff. Every time I go in there, oh yeah, well, see these new games, you want to reserve anything? No, you can put $5 down. I'm like, no, I don't. That's okay. And then, oh really? Well, if you only do this, if you reserve this, I'm going to sell you this person's reserved copy of this that was actually out. And I was like, oh god, you guys are slimy.
I just didn't like their exchange rate.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the exchange rate is.
The exchange rate's terrible. Like, oh okay.
20 games, I got $1.
Metal Gear Solid 3, 15 cents.
You know what you can do though for the exchange rate, and I don't think it's as good as it used to be, especially now that they're in financial distress. But in the past, I used to like to go to flea markets and I would buy up like Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy Color games. People would just sell like their old games that they thought were worthless. A lot of parents would like just
they don't
be
know
like,
what they
we're
have
just selling our kids junk. And those games were always like, especially if you found Pokemon games, like resale like $20, $30 a pop. But then you bring them in at once, like GameStop always does a couple times a year, like bring in 6 games will give you like an additional 40% on top of that.
I do remember those events.
I would do that a few times. The last time I did it was maybe a year and a half ago, and I got like $200. I think I only spent like 18 to get the games that I resold to them.
Pokemon games hold their value so damn well.
Yeah, they do.
And just
so the
retro
cards,
games.
everything, the whole thing.
Yeah.
John Bonhova says GameStop has to focus on esports. So would they change all of the physical places to small esport arenas, like
Maybe.
small esport?
They want to sell
facilities,
like clothes.
Well, they could turn into
like
game
merchandise.
cafes. Yeah.
Yeah, gaming cafes.
Well,
and stuff?
that's
There's just not much of a space for a physical location, probably outside of large markets in the future, and then everything else will probably go online. Like we're probably gonna be streaming on xCloud and streaming on, Amazon or whatever YouTube is bringing with Stadia. Like within the next 5 to 10 years, like you're not gonna even own games.
No, it's all gonna be subscription services or the free with microtransactions, which I hate that model, but it makes the most damn money.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But I have Game Pass Ultimate, and that's amazing. Like,
that's pretty cool.
It's incredible the games that I get on Microsoft, on Xbox for that subscription service. I would have no problem paying a monthly service like that forever, not having to buy any more $60 games, so long as I could get the games that I wanted.
No, that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the demo they did of Stadia, which apparently it isn't as far along as they made it look and everything.
Sure.
But, he just grabbed his controller, went from the regular TV to the iPad to the mobile phone, and I was just like, oh my God, that's insane. But yeah, once that's a realized actual life, I think, I love my physical media, but I might just go deeper into my retro game collection, leave it at that.
Yeah, you've been. You're still every week. You're sending me like big lots of selling 600 NES games for $20. I'm like, what the hell?
I wish it was that nice. Yeah, no,
It's very exaggerated.
I actually got like a lot of like 7 3DS games. For
Okay.
something like $60, and I noticed there was like 4 Pokemon games in there, and I was like, the Pokemon games alone, if I sold all those at face value, was $75. So I was like, got that. So I'm keeping the stuff I really want, and I'm just trying to build my collection while not going negative.
So slowly we're turning into the video game Pawn Stars show. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with old Pokemon games, especially like Game Boy Color, because there's a lot of fake cartridges out there.
There's a lot of that's happening with N64 cartridges and Super Nintendo cartridges. That's like there's like pristine Super Contra, and you're like, and then the back it doesn't have all the stuff.
And they'll have like a ROM loaded on, so it'll play, which is how they trick you a lot of the time. But then you realize, like, you look through it and there's like things that are wrong, or there's like a new splash screen somewhere at the start with like a skull on it or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you keeping your collection? Because I know you have a lot.
Stacked up in a lot of boxes, and I also have a storage unit. I have to drive the storage unit and cycle stuff out. I'll keep what I keep, and then what's going to sell.
I was like, where does your baby sleep? Where do you keep your child?
I have a section. I have a section of the closet, a small part in the closet where the baby sleeps.
I would
and
have
my
a
games
drawer.
go everywhere else.
A drawer would have been really convenient because you don't trip on her.
It's true.
When you close it.
Thinking
there
about
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
No worries. I'm 1 year ahead of you. All right. Don't go into the next asset yet, Sam. But I wanted to discuss. We're going into our crypto, little crypto moment, and you always hear about crypto being hacked. There's a very famous project called EOS, and I kind of wanted to introduce EOS to those of you out there who don't know anything about crypto. Because it's really interesting the history.
A little education.
And what it is.
Christian is resident crypto
So
nerd
there you
today.
go. So EOS basically has one of the things that you can do a lot with blockchain games or blockchain technology right now is gamble. That's a big, huge. Basically, no matter what, if you're in crypto technology, you're gambling no matter what just by buying some.
It's true.
Basically,
Taking a risk.
But they recently got hacked for $190,000, almost $200,000.
Oh, that's a small one.
It's a small one, but it was a small amount. But it was like a good chunk of the site's funds.
So it was a gambling site that got hacked?
Yes,
Not necessarily they
not EOS
invalidated
itself,
the
but the thing
EOS
is, this
blockchain
gambling
or
site
anything.
was promoting themselves as, oh, we're the safest. We're not going to get hacked. And the
Well,
second you say, oh, we're the safest,
So
Yeah.
start flashing your
You're
ass like
inviting
that.
it.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
I'm also just weary of the project in general. EOS is a weird project. I know people love it and people hate it. People love it, people hate it. But I wanted to kind of, for those of you who don't know the history of EOS, go ahead and pop up that thing whenever you get a chance. The guy you're looking at right now is a man by the name of Brock Pierce.
Oh, yes. Dan Larimer and Brock Pierce.
Do you know who Brock Pierce is?
No, but it's the name of like a video game villain or something.
Oh, that would be great.
I sure hope that's true. I want to find out which one. Yeah.
But Brock Pierce, if you go back in time, kids, there was
Yeah.
a movie called The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
He was
All
a
right.
child actor.
He
I'm
was
listening.
a child actor. He was also in the movie called The First Kid. He was the
Wait.
first kid
He was the first kid? Oh.
with Sinbad.
Oh, I never saw this.
You never saw The First Kid?
It was
No.
about the kid in the White House and everything.
Yeah, it was basically
It's-
Oh.
the first kid didn't have a father because the father was president and he was too busy to be a father, so Sinbad
Sure.
became his father.
raised by Sinbad.
Raised by Sinbad.
It's a great
which-
story.
I mean, I've seen House Guest, but
It's
Yeah.
basically House Guest with a child.
Okay.
That's basically what it is.
House Guest is a classic.
That's awesome.
It's true.
The last time I saw Sinbad, and I'll say this again, the last time I saw Sinbad was standing behind me getting ready to pay for community college classes. At the same time as
Okay.
me.
All right.
Good job, Sinbad. You're doing well.
Hey, on furthering
Yeah,
education
Yeah,
is
he's
always
pushing
good.
himself.
Absolutely.
That's right.
It was nice to
He's
know we
gonna
were on
learn
the
to
same
code.
level. But he went on. This kid went on to do video game trading with skins. He would basically do microtransactions, or focus on microtransactions within video games back in the late '90s.
He was actually one of the first people to start selling in-game golds on MMOs and stuff like
Okay,
that. And he
yeah.
actually started hiring people to start farming gold for him so he could sell it. And he made a shit ton of money
Yeah.
doing that. Like a ton of. That's where he made
hundreds of
most
millions
his
of dollars.
Yeah.
He turned that money into crypto
Mm-hmm.
and then boosted that up. And then he realized, wait, I have enough money to start my own crypto company.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, EOS.
Mm.
Came with a lot of promises, but very little substance, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah. But, enough different dApps and other programs are using the blockchain. Therefore, it's going to maintain. It's like if nobody was using it, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I totally thought this was going to fail
Yeah.
until people started actually using it and it's functional. But
People still using it.
But how he got the money to start this was so absolutely shady. It was an auction, like every single day, a certain amount was the same amount was given, but more and more people were bidding high and high each
Okay.
day, and we don't know who was bidding at the beginning, so he could have been bidding himself, setting the
Right.
price
Boosting
real
it.
high.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the later ones, he just kept on reaping the money. This dude is now worth $7 billion.
Ugh.
Okay.
$7 billion.
Holy Brock.
Which is a lot of money, but is he the biggest name and money in crypto, or how? He's one of them.
He's definitely one of them.
So
yeah.
that's-
He's prominent. I think some of the biggest winners in crypto probably are hiding or hiding their
Right.
names because they don't want to. If they had, I had 200,000 Bitcoin from back in 2009. I forgot about it, and like, oh wait, I'm a billionaire now.
Yeah,
Right.
So
just be quiet.
yeah,
So everything
if you don't
blows
want to avoid the drama, he's been living in the spotlight the whole time though. But there's
Okay.
some big movers and shakers, but that's up there for sure. Him,
But-
yeah.
It's claiming to do a lot of big things, but the point is, everything is still really weak in the crypto space. Keep your eye on it
Mhm.
because we need to definitely use the technology, blockchain technology. But whenever I hear anything about EOS, I always get a little freaked out. I don't really know what's happening with this damn project, but a lot of people are getting involved, and I'm just afraid a lot of people are going to get screwed over big time.
Yeah.
With their finances. It gets a lot of transactions per second, and it's supposedly free and all this stuff. But I don't know. Do you think EOS?
I'm not enough of a tech nerd to really understand like what the bells and whistles and the nuts and bolts
I think
are better.
I think they're just like tossing out fancy words whenever they.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the worst. Not every, but there's a lot of the blockchain games that are coming out and I always go into my little spiel here, but it's always important that one of the most important things about blockchain and gaming is going to be true ownership of your in-game assets.
Sure.
As you know, you ever played WoW or EverQuest, if you did be a gold farmer and you went to go sell your stuff, you're violating the EULA. Therefore, they can kick you off the game. They'll ban your account because they're like, oh, you're selling for real world finances. What they're trying to do is new games coming out want to say like, oh, you've earned this sword. Cool. It's yours. It sits in the blockchain. You have ownership of it. If you want to sell it, do it. Great.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's giving you assets that you truly own for your blood, sweat, and tears that you do to play video games. So when you want to quit a game, you could sell your stuff for probably more than you paid for it when you got in.
What developers are doing this so far?
Indie's the only right now because AAA they don't want to give you anything. They don't need to.
Right.
Give you
That's
anything.
like it feels like it like almost like butts up against their own interests.
It does to a degree, but there was Engine was one of the ones that I thought was a really, really smart project, and they were just talking about hypothetically that if Activision Blizzard wanted to start utilizing this, it'd be a way to keep players in their ecosystem for longer. So if I go on Hearthstone and I got this rare card called, this is always my example, called the Flaming Sword, and it's something that'll boost up, an attack you do, and then you want to go and onto WoW, you can now take that item you earned, and hey, it also works in WoW, and it actually becomes a flaming sword you could use. Then you go play Call of Duty, and then it comes some sick rifle called the Flaming Sword, or something whatever like that. So it's, if I was playing all these games and I had all these assets, whatever new game comes in, I'm like, well, I'm already going to be pretty advanced, so I might as well get the new game from Activision Blizzard and go forward. So that's one use case. No AAA developers have taken that on yet, but that's one use case I think that would be a way to keep players to buy all of their games and stuff. So it's a unique concept. I'm
definitely excited for it because it works really well hand in hand with VR and AR as well, where you can just kind of you'll be wearing stuff.
That makes a lot more sense to me almost actually as an application.
There's a blockchain VR MMO that's going to try to utilize that as well. So I remember that's what you were always saying, and I'm like, that's exactly what Daniel wanted and everything.
I want it.
It's like that Black Mirror episode, season 1, episode 2. Everybody goes in and what they call them, they're doppels, where you get to like dress and you buy stuff for your character and everything. That's what you do.
I'll look so much better in VR and AR.
You're gonna have glorious hair,
yeah,
flowing locks.
You have no clue. I'm gonna look like Cousin It. I'm not gonna go way too far. I'm gonna get Sam's hair. Thank you.
That's a lifelong commitment to hair, right?
This really is, bro.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much. If you guys have any crypto questions or anything like that, you can email us thecoinboys@thecoinboys.com. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, you can email us there. Reach us at Coinboys Podcast. Reach each of us individually. Twitter doesn't really matter. Say what's up.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna go into probably the biggest news of the weekend. What we're playing. Pew pew. We're gonna start off with the big one, and we'll go with Aaron. What are you playing, buddy?
I am playing Borderlands. I'm playing Borderlands 3. It dropped on Thursday. I pre-ordered mine on Amazon, so I didn't get it till Friday. So I didn't get the 9 p.m. release that some people got. But it is more of the same, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Okay.
I played Borderlands through maybe 5-6 times. Just playing that because I'd go through myself, and then my brother started to play. We go through again. I go to a different character. Then you get these big epic bosses and all the DLCs, and you need to tackle that with multiple people. Borderlands 3 seems like a much bigger scope of all that. The worlds are huge. You're not stuck on one planet anymore. You've got a ship that can go around from planet to planet to planet, and there's already stuff you see throughout the game that you can't really interact with yet, because you have to unlock certain things later on, either by beating, one thing or another thing, and then you can come back and interact with those things. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I don't even know that much to spoil, but it is just wacky, nonsense, crazy, violent, irreverent action and humor. And
that's what
I love it.
I've been playing the pre-sequel. That's all I've been playing.
Pre-sequel's fun.
Still on it.
Borderlands 2 is my favorite.
I will get that one next.
2 is better than the pre-sequel.
I think so too.
Yeah. The new one seems just as good as 2. In fact, the best thing about the new one is the new mode where they have cooperation or co-opetition.
Yes, I did notice that, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
I guess you're playing with a bunch of randos and you don't want to have to share your stuff.
Oh, well, so it's also like, so when my friends and I, so like on Unranked, we did a stream.
Mm-hmm.
We played co-opetition, which like when I'm just casually playing, or if it's just me and someone else playing together, I'm gonna want to do cooperation because that means whenever there's loot dropped, we each get our own loot. We get our own loot chest. In
It's
co-opetition,
instances for every person. Yeah, it's great.
shared. So then
Yeah.
it's whoever gets to it first. So we purposely played with co-opetitions. The second like the boss ended, one of us like was trying to run to the chest or like pick up everything off the ground, and then you're all like screaming at each other. Right.
You're like, oh, I'm full. What can I dump? What can I dump?
You're like, you see someone goes down and you don't get them up because first you want to pick up the loot.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And then you'll go
that's
help them
messed
if you
up.
have time.
You're like,
But I mean, that's
Hang
fun.
on
That's
a
good for the
second, man. I
stream.
gotta get some. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
But
Don't
the,
worry, I can see it. It's taken down.
I'm just
I can
kidding.
see it.
No
the
worries.
other thing is it'll scale your enemies. So
Notice
that way
that
you
too.
and your friends, if you play co-opetition is the original style. It's nothing different. So like you share loot, and whoever gets it first, it's for them. And
Or everybody picks it
level
up and then you
doesn't
decide
scale.
who wants what, and you can
Right.
trade stuff and everything.
so like if you're level 40 and your friend comes on at level 1, like they're just gonna get killed the whole time. But in
Yes.
cooperation, it will scale the enemies for them. So when they'll play
Mhm.
on your mission, like end game stuff,
Oh, that's
but
great.
all the enemies will be scaled to a level that they can actually fight.
See, this is the problem that I have when I play with my friends. I'm level 1. I'm coming in and just going, help me! Just
Yes.
let me get a tank.
I know. Well, that's one thing is you can't like twink people out like in other games,
Right.
Because everything's level ranked. So if some level 40 guy's like, oh, here's a sweet gun, you're like, cool, I'll use it in 39 more levels.
Yeah.
So there was no
I'm
way to
gonna
really
wait.
like pad stuff. But as I go through the game, there were some guns that I was like, oh, it's only a level 7 gun, but it's amazing. So my brother would get
Yes.
on and like, there you go, man. I was
So was it worth the wait?
so far, I'm loving it. Yeah, Borderlands 3 is everything I wanted. And I specifically didn't really care so much at E3 to go play the demo because I'm like, just going to tease me.
It was
Yeah.
2 hours long to just play the demo anyway.
Which
it was 2 or
was-
3 hours. Not worth it.
Yeah.
I did play the demo at E3, but I other than that completely avoided everything about the game that I could because I knew
I tried the same.
was gonna
Yeah.
like it, so I just wanted to not know what was coming.
I'm also a trailer hater for movies. I think trailers ruin movies
Sure.
a lot of times. If I
Sure.
really care about the movie, I will learn that it's coming out. Then it's media blackout. I won't want to
I
see any trailers.
completely
That's
agree.
the intro to Mythbusters or any Adam Savage show. You just skip forward like the first minute. They're gonna be like, "We're gonna see if this can happen," and then they show it,
Guess
and
what?
I'm like,
It
"Wait,
happens.
like,
You're
I
like,
wanted to watch. I don't want to know."
What
Yeah,
was
like
the point of me
busted,
doing all this
confirmed.
stuff?
I
Okay.
hate that narrator.
What are they going to do? Any changes to it in the future that you guys are aware of? Or
Well, I got the Ultra Deluxe Super Edition, whatever, which means
Yeah.
I got to get the season pass. Which the
Okay.
season pass is like it's $50. So the game would have been $65 normally, and it's $50 for the season pass. I don't know how many DLCs they're doing. I haven't really looked into it,
I
but
think it's 3.
it's 3.
could
And they'll
be
probably
4,
do more
but yeah.
because they ended up doing like 6 or so for Borderlands
Yeah,
2.
it's like their year 1 DLC.
Yeah,
the season
exactly.
pass.
So they're definitely going to open it up, but it seems like the world is so massive
Mhm.
already. And the thing about Borderlands 2 is the replayability. Like you go through and you basically get like you can do like a new game plus, and then kind of like escalate everything and make everything like harder the next time around and everything. You can do that up to 4 times, where enemies go from like 60 to 70 to 80 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can up your levels, and so if they do, and I think they're going for a long-term play here. They knew that people did that, so I think they're trying to make it even more in depth. So. Yeah, stay tuned, everybody, because I'm going to be talking about Borderlands 3 for a
very long
long
time.
But I do have others coming up. There was a favorite that Andy played at E3 was Peach Ball, and that's on
Did
my
you get
game.
Peach Ball?
It's on my GameFly list. It's
Oh my
weird. I'm doing
God.
GameFly instead of Game
Okay.
Pass because one of my favorite things is that when you choose to keep it, it's cheaper than buying it online.
By the
generally.
way,
Okay.
So
we
the
do
disc
have a
is clean.
GameFly code if you haven't tried
Segway,
GameFly.
yes.
Sam, can I put that code in still, or is that something else later?
I don't know that we set that bot command.
No
up.
worries. But we will in the description when we do this replay. You can get the GameFly link below.
Yes. the
Try it
GameFly
out,
love.
guys.
Yeah, it's good. I like collecting my physical games. So you get the disc, you look at the disc. Oh, the disc is clean. I love this game. You click keep, and then they send you a brand new box. And so
But-
you're like, oh, I got my case.
But we know what Peach Ball is.
Peach Ball. Yes.
I
So
don't. What is Peach Ball?
it was in the Switch area,
Yeah.
and Andy, we were walking around, and Andy was like, "Oh, I want to play this. What's some anime games?" Like, so a girl was presenting it. She's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna explain this how they asked me to. These girls are like they're fox girls, and they're trapped up and chained, and it's like a pinball game. So you play pinball, and you gotta hit all these things to start undressing them, which frees them,
yeah.
Yes.
and then you
Yeah.
you basically make them naked, and then they become your like slaves."
But it's volleyball. Is it volleyball or what is it?
It's pinball.
Oh, pinball. My bad.
But it's like they're all chained up, sexy fox ladies. Oh, free me, whatever it is. So it's apparently got really good gameplay. It's total just Japanese anime fan service though.
Yeah.
But it's with a good pinball game, so it looks like fun. So I wanted to try it.
Why did we as a society decide to come up with the word fan service instead of just saying like it's for horny boys?
Yeah.
Like I don't. When did that happen? When did everyone just say, "Oh, we'll call it fan service"?
TNA anime.
Like why did we all just accept that?
Because
it's sort of
it's all about vocabulary. You don't want to feel bad about yourself immediately.
Oh yeah.
Just own it. Like if you're gonna play that game and talk about it, then just own it.
You should have seen Andy when he played it though. It was hysterical because he's like, "What game is this?" And he's playing it, and then he starts getting all like weirded out about it. He starts looking around, making sure nobody's
went over the
looking over
camera,
his
and she was
shoulder.
like, "No, you can't record it."
Oh yeah, we can record it with the camera. I'm like,
it's like if you guys could just leave the room. I'm gonna play this for a while.
It was hysterical.
It's a me time. So I'll be talking about Peach Ball when I finally get it.
That'll be on a later game, and we probably won't have any footage of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm showing the
so
footage.
you know.
Getting some B-roll, TNA roll.
Oh my god.
We'll have to post that on some other streaming websites.
Yes. And I know which one.
Game Hub. No, sorry.
We do have a command for that.
Oh, there's a command for that.
There we go.
Sweet. But stay on this show for right now, guys.
Yeah.
Christian, what are you playing this week? Besides Borderlands.
Besides Borderlands, I'm still like I gotta find time so that I can finish this game Control because I'm only now about maybe halfway.
Control looks sick.
What is Control?
I love it. Control is
looks like
from
bonkers
Remedy.
nonsense.
It's the people that did Quantum Break, Alan Wake.
I loved Alan Wake. I was a
Max
huge
Payne.
Alan Wake fan.
So, well, you're gonna be really excited then.
Oh yeah.
When I get to the next part. But
Okay.
so this takes like all the best ideas they've ever had, which all those games sort of had like downsides. Like Alan Wake was like one of their it was their best story and had like pretty good gameplay, but it wasn't actually about like physically moving your character in the space so much. It was more about the experience
tone and the story. It was like the Twilight Zone episode, and with a crazy, just dark twist. Ah, so fun. And then worth going back to.
Quantum Break got like some of the best like thematic stuff, and they had a lot of great like visuals were incredible, and they had good ideas with the powers, but the gameplay never matched up with the story that they were trying to tell. Like Max Payne was like great gameplay, so they put all that together, and with Control you have their best world they've created with an amazing story, but also like the actual mobility in the game. It almost feels like I'm playing a platformer at times.
That's what it kind of looks like. Some of the the controls of Control, they look pretty intense, of just like fast-paced action and just like it looks really crazy. Looks fun.
You've ever watched like Fringe or Lost or X-Files? It's very much in that vein. Fringe, I'd say, is actually the closest. It's a federal bureau of control in this game, and it's very Fringe-esque. It's just like sort of the Fringe division, and there's these sort of paranormal events. There are areas that you go into. It's almost like a dimensional rift. If you ever played, I explained this once before, but if you ever played Super Mario Sunshine, there were the secret worlds which were just platforms, and there's areas that are almost like that, where you have to navigate the world and avoid enemies, but it's all about your abilities, and that's the big thing about this game is you're telekinetic. You get dashes, you can grab things and throw them.
Yeah, see all the gravitational looking forces that you're doing, and just like throwing people around or grabbing the environment and smashing people with it and everything.
It's awesome. So it's very, you can play defensively, you can play offensively, but everything about it, it's not just the story in this world, it's also like really the actually like holding and controlling your character. It's all mobility, and it's precise. It's as precise as like a great platformer, and like the shooting is good, and you just have a pistol or a shotgun, it transforms. So it's like they nailed those two, and they're not trying to throw tons of crazy weapons at you because they just
we got Borderlands for that.
Right, and they give you tools that are like, all of these tools are really precise and you can get very good at them, so we don't need to like keep making you get more interesting tools. We can just make your tools better as you get better at them. So it's a really fun game to play.
Yeah, I knew Borderlands was going to overtake my life, so I saw that game and I'm like, work on your backlog now. And I'm being really responsible about not buying things like immediately when they come out. Like, I can't play this now, but I want to have it because I want to play it eventually. And then when I finally play it, it's like, it's $15 instead of the 60 I paid. And I'm like, damn it. So Control's going to not sit on my shelf. I'm going to get it probably off GameFly when I do free up my time a little bit.
So is there an end to the game, or is it
there's an end to that, but they also announced DLC, and this is why I said you'd be excited, because they showed, I can't remember what the word was, but essentially the DLC they showed, it was the background from Alan Wake. It was actually like the Awake A with him standing there with the flashlight in it. So it's going to be connected. This might even connect to all of their games in some way. I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like they sort of have their own Remedy multiverse.
Yeah.
But it seems directly connected. They haven't said anything but that teaser image as to what they're going to be doing.
That sounds so cool.
For Alan Wake fans.
I'll check it out. Is it scary?
It's scary, but not like Blair Witch horror scary. It's because like that stuff I just can't handle.
I see. I like that stuff.
I get freaky, but it's freaky and dark. But it's not like really going for jump scares or anything.
See, jump scares are what I don't need. I'm like, that's a cheap thrill. I'm like, I like you set a tone or an atmosphere and just creepy. It's psychologically
bring it.
Creepy. That's what I love. That kind of stuff. Like even Alien Isolation, that I've been told that I would like it, is all about you like hiding while the thing's around. So it's like, it's not just going all the time. It's seriously like, oh, here the thing's coming, and the music changes, and you have to go hide, and you can't move, and then the thing creeps by, and it's like that's more just like atmospherically scary.
There's a mobile game called Granny. Have any of you played Granny?
No. Is it like PT?
I don't know what that is. Well, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But basically, you wake up in a room that you were kidnapped by some zombie granny, and you have to escape the house, but like you have to make sure you're not seen.
Yeah, this is okay. So this is the one that I thought it was. Someone made there's some ripoffs of PT. So PT was a tech demo that came out on the PS4. It was going to be made by Kojima while he was still at Konami, and he was doing it with Guillermo del Toro. And you start in this house, and you have to get to the door at the end of the hallway. But like behind you, this whole time, it's this like old dead woman, and like she comes for you and jumps at it. It is like the scariest. It is the scariest thing I've ever seen a video game do. It's incredible, and now there's this whole like weird thing about it. 'Cause you can't download it anymore. It's gone, and
really?
He's not a Konami.
Yeah.
So like if you want to play it, like people sell PS4s with the demo still installed, like for like tons of money on eBay.
I had heard, and I hadn't confirmed it myself, that I think they pulled Alan Wake from being digitally available because there was some kind of like
there's a lot
license
of
disputes.
Oh, so they last month got the publishing rights to Alan Wake back from Microsoft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now they actually have the publishing rights again. So maybe it'll be coming back.
That's good. Because I mean, even when I have like emulators and stuff like that, I'll see all these things, and I'm like, what's a version 1, version 3, version 4, 5? It's because it's usually licensing stuff that expires, and if they want to keep a game still somehow available, they have to update it. So the newer versions of the same game aren't necessarily better. They usually pull stuff away rather than add stuff. Generally.
Well, I mean, since we can't play PT, I don't mind the clones. I love the scariness. Bring it on.
One last thing about Control, which if you have the newest RTX card, I don't have it. I'm playing it on a 1X, so it looks amazing, but it uses the RTX ray tracing on PC if you have like the high-end card. And it is like the best looking game I've ever seen. You got to go load up stuff on YouTube, go watch, like a 4K video stream of this with the ray tracing on it. Is the lighting, because it's very like dark and enclosed space lighting. There's lots of like red lights and yellow lights. There's like the building has gone into shutdown, and you are sort of trying to make your way through it. It is like the reflections and everything are mind blowing. It's the best anything I've seen for a video game.
I did see an update. A quick side note that Minecraft did some update for a high-end graphics card to have the most insane lighting effects in this little pixely world.
They're doing ray tracing.
It's
the RTX.
It's like hazy and this perfect light cascading through these pixelated trees. Yes, Minecraft
it
with
awesome.
ray tracing. It looks badass. I need to fire it up with my powerful ass card.
In Minecraft. That's what you bought, that whole big beast for Minecraft.
Bought it for Beat Saber.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Either one. Well, I'm playing because I read another article. My goal is to become an esports legend. And just make the millions.
It's a hollow dream. Do not entertain this.
No, it's gonna happen.
Do not entertain it. He's got old slow thumbs.
Don't worry, I'll work my thumbs.
That's right.
Street Fighter V was just announced to be a part of a new esports tournament, and I'm like, I played Street Fighter at one point in my life.
Yeah.
I own Street Fighter V. I never played it.
How come you never fired it up, man?
Because
it's Street Fighter.
It came with my system. Like it just came with it.
So you're like, I
never fired it up because I was playing all these other ones. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check it out. I'm not a fan.
What?
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I dig it. I love the whole like the paint style. It's almost like you're fighting paintings.
The look is beautiful.
It looks great.
The look is great. It's the gameplay that I'm just like,
It's a far cry from what we're used to, man.
It is, but like I'm used to being able to do like longer distance attacks, and you kind of really can't do that too well in Street Fighter V.
No, they've changed the kind of whole model of how the function of the battle happens, and if you watch those esports tournaments, man, I mean, these guys are just sitting there waiting to, as soon as they get that one hit, they're setting you up to just decimate you. And
it's
everything.
all juggling now.
Yeah, it's all juggling, loading up, hitting the special, the super, juggle, follow up super. It's like, it's insane what some of these people do. But I was watching one of the esports we were covering before. It was just one of the tournaments they were having, and it was just two people that were just kind of like flinching at each other. It was like nobody's throwing anything. They were just kind of like, I'm kind of going. No, I'm kind of no. Look, they're like fainting finally, to try to draw them into do one move, and then they'll get you.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's way.
Or they're waiting for that one frame.
Yeah,
like if they can get like that, you nail that one frame, then you're good. I mean, it's like Smash Brothers has a crazy meta, but like I thought it was interesting. You're gonna get into esports, and you're picking like probably one of the most complex and difficult games to start with.
It's easy. It's fine. Nah, I got it. It's cool. Now just bring back Blanca. That's all I want. I want him.
Yeah.
He's not the same. Or they had this weird dude with dreads, like Sam, but like he can like beat the crap out of you. I'm like, whoa.
I bet you Sam could beat some ass with that. He just whip his head.
Accurate, yeah.
That isn't accurate.
We used to do like Super Soccer Wars, and I didn't need a gun.
Oh.
I would just load up at the water fountain with my hand.
That would suck for me. But since we're on you, Sam, what are you playing, buddy?
I've.
Did you play the game of relaxation over the weekend?
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah.
I rolled D20 for sofa, and no,
nice. Natural 20.
Yeah,
That's what I did.
And I bet points that you were going to get that, so thank you, sir.
We kept it tabletop, and we played Lego's Minotaurus.
Okay.
Which is suggested age of like 6 to up.
Okay,
so
6 to up.
6 to up, I believe. And basically, you have a Lego labyrinth. And on either of the 4 corners, you start your 3 people with little minifigs special to the game. And in the center is a Minotaur and then corresponding color base. So you're basically trying to wind your way through the labyrinth with the custom Lego die. And within that, you can move around blocks to block other people.
You play Lego has a lot of board games going on right now?
Lego has a lot of everything now.
Yeah.
Oh,
they diversified very, very smartly.
They like 10 years ago they were like, wait a minute, we can license things?
Yeah.
We're licensing everything.
Oh my God.
I don't know. The Minecraft Lego set seems like the Department of Redundancy department to me.
Well, the Lego games are all really good,
they're
except
pretty cool.
I like all the Star Wars
online.
ones.
Oh yeah.
They're all local only, but the new Star Wars one, which is a redo to the whole thing, has online co-op finally. So,
yeah, the games were a lot of fun. I played the Lord of the Rings ones. That was a lot of fun. The Star Wars ones.
When you do you have is this something that you schedule out with your kids? Because I love the fact that you do this every week. But it's like,
no, it just kind of comes up naturally.
Nice.
Like, Mom's going shopping. All right, let's play games. Sure.
You're not like, it's Sunday at 2 p.m., kids.
Yeah,
Everybody gather around the games table.
That's the whole
wish
reason
it
I want
was
kids.
that. if it was that scheduled, I'd be like, and maybe we'll live stream it. They're not into that yet. They're like, they used to be when they were younger, but now they could care less about.
I'm ready for the family live stream, my friend. I'm ready for it.
It's coming.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that's what we're playing. But let's go from talking about what we're playing to actually playing in Coinboys Play.
Pew, 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 pew. See, Christian got it on the third time.
You got it right off the bat.
So this came as a community voted Twitter poll that we did.
And we're going to start doing that every
we're going to have
every week.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep putting Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time on there. You know that game?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a Games with Gold one.
Yep.
I download all those just to have them, archive them. And it's a really cool indie multiplayer game. I'm going to keep putting it up there. So you guys can start voting for it, or else you're never going to see the end of it because I want to play that game. But this one is a classic.
I want.
You are.
Yeah.
It's one of the few games that I remember playing vividly and really, really enjoying every moment of it. It's a beautiful game known as Earthworm Jim. So let's get it up and firing.
Oh yes, Earthworm Jim. I had it on the Genesis for me. That's where I mostly played it. And I don't know. I don't think there was a big difference between the Genesis and the SNES. Because there was games like Aladdin were slightly different on both. There was a Lion King, other stuff like that. Like there was always slight differences between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. But I think this one was pretty similar.
Yeah. Well, ironically enough, so this was created by Playmates Toys.
Claymates?
Playmates.
Oh,
Playmates.
Playmates.
Yes.
That
Like
makes
the
it a
bunnies.
little. Oh.
But like for children. So enjoy that one. But yeah, so Playmates toys, they They
Daniel,
had the
would you like
license.
to christen us here?
I will christen us, sir.
Yes.
Uh,
Start off in New Junk City and see if your skills hold back up to what you remember.
oh my god, I don't even know what I'm playing anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But
I played a little bit before the show, and I was like, oh man, I forgot everything. You got jump, you got whip, you got gun.
Okay, let's go. Gotcha. But Playmates,
Playmates. Uh-huh.
Playmates was wanted to start licensing their own games, so they ran out to this one dude, and I'll get to him momentarily.
Yeah, don't
Ah!
jump. Don't jump. Just keep your ass chewed on by
Jump!
that dog.
Stop biting my ass. Oh, I've thought I was gonna die like 8 times. I'm whipping the cow.
There you go. Now,
What's up?
get it again.
Whipping this
The
cow?
fridge, right?
Yeah, get the fridge again. Jump and whip. There we go.
I have to launch the cow?
Yeah, the cow launched.
forgot
Yeah,
about that.
remember? I know there's so much I forgot about this back in the day.
I always liked, and it's funny, similar to regular worms, but I liked any game where you could actually affect the environment. So when you get into like the areas where you're the
Yes.
dirt and you shoot through the dirt, that was like always my favorite part of this game.
Yeah, get all those.
Ah,
Yeah, that
man.
was like, oh, there was just so many hard parts. Like, there's all these like secret areas in this game that were
Mhm.
like really hard to access, and you know, I'm sure there was an Earthworm Jim strategy guide completely. But all
Did
get
you
is
guys ever
these
get
little tips
Nintendo
and tricks.
powers?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. A Game Pro. I was a big Game Pro fan back in the day. You don't need to whip it, just jump on it. You get it. There you go. Oh,
Oh,
now you missed it. Go
crap.
back again.
Well,
There
I
comes
got
the
the other
skill jumping
ones.
part. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was like you just had these little tidbits from magazines that you would have to get your tips from. And there's some games that was just completely relentless with. Oh, there you
Give
go.
me a-
Yeah, you can just stay on.
Nobody
There you
touch
go.
me.
They were completely relentless with how hard they were until you either figured it out or somebody told you how to do it. So
But yeah, I mean, but part of that I think was always because all those people came from making games for arcades where they didn't want you to be able to beat it
true.
because they wanted you to keep putting quarters in.
Yeah.
And then like
Oh,
they
the
port them
financial
over to
drain.
console, but then it's like, well, this is how we design these.
Yeah.
It's like our game is actually only like an hour and a half, but if we want people to pay $100 for it, they need to not be able to beat it.
Yeah, like there was I remember there was one thing when I was looking up emulators and ROMs back in the day that I was like, I had a beloved memory of the Willow arcade game because there's the Willow NES game.
Oh man, I'm getting
that-
stuck here. Go.
Yeah.
You
Come
guys-
on, you can do it.
you guys do
Daniel.
your thing.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta
Oh,
jump
that was
back
the end of
up
it.
after that.
I'm going down.
Go for it. There you go.
There
I
we
think
go.
you found this secret-y area. And I remember the Willow arcade game, and I was like, oh, I really want to play it again. And I downloaded it, and I started playing, and I realized on the second level, there's one enemy that it almost just broke my willpower in general. Just because I was so many times over and over, and I'm like, this is where they're getting your quarters. This is the
Yeah.
point of robbery right here.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to try to beat this thing, and it's like, I already put $5 in, I'm going to walk away.
It
Yeah.
was
Next
only
person.
a matter of time.
Oh, we got it.
Christian, go
fire
for it.
that up right there.
Anyways, I can go into some of the information about the game.
Yes.
So the guy who created it was a guy named David Perry,
Mm-hmm.
who worked on Disney's Aladdin, which is why this looks very similar to how Aladdin works. He also worked
Which is a fantastic game, too.
on a game called Cool Spot.
I was going to say, this is very much like Cool Spot. Tommy Tallarico did, I think, the music for Cool Spot. He was old. What did he have? That was Judgment Day was the name of the show.
Now, for those of
Game
you out
review
there
show.
who don't know what Cool Spot is, 7-Up decided to
It
get
was
into
the
the video
7-Up
game
mascot.
industry.
The little red dot on their can, they decided to
Yes.
give
After-
glasses,
Oh, that's like
arms, and
KFC
legs.
now.
Yeah, KFC
Yeah.
just released their game as well.
Yeah, it's the Colonel's dating
Colonel's
sim.
dating service.
It's
Oh,
basically Dream Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm in. I will play any KFC-based
It's
game,
that
which apparently they've done a
strapping
few of them.
Colonel.
He's pretty good looking, not gonna lie.
I mean, the Noid did that, if you remember the
And then
Noid.
Yo Noid
Yeah.
on the NES
So the
was a
Noid
great
was the
game.
was the reason why 7-Up's like, we can do a video game too. We got a red circle, so they went with it. And so he finally decided to. They asked him for an original game because Playmates Toys wanted to do something original, so
Mhm.
they can have their own licenses, and they got Earthworm Jim. I used to watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cartoon
It was a
legit.
Sunday morning cartoon, I do believe. Not a Saturday one, but I can double check. But
Christian have some struggles in the tire
Yeah.
up here.
Do I have to jump?
No,
again?
to the left.
to
You got to
the
go to the
left.
little platform over the left.
and just clasp onto the platform to the left there, right there.
Yeah, left.
There you go.
There
Oh,
we
it's
go.
perfect. You didn't need to jump on. There you go. Now you ride that bad boy down.
Yeah, you go down as far as I know.
And you gotta jump on.
What is
that
that
one.
thing? Is it
There
a
you go.
dog? What's biting my ass?
It's a dog.
Yeah,
It's
like
a
a little mutant dog thing.
rabid dog that chews on your ass.
Oh, then you have
Oh,
to
I see.
go
Okay.
up from there.
Yeah, it's like how quickly we forget some of these like really in-depth platformers and
Well, 'cause-
everything.
Well, part of it is like, so do I need to actually hit jump when I hit the tires? Because sometimes I was getting like a half bounce versus a full
oh yeah,
bounce. It's like you just have to go, okay, what are the rules of this game?
yeah. How do physics work in this world?
I
Dog,
got him.
man. Whip
Nope.
him, whip him.
We're dying. This was always like every
Man, yeah, this
the
is-
side scrollers were always
Sucks,
puzzles
sucks.
versus
Yeah.
Oh,
free open worlds.
and you can't shoot midair, which I'm like, it's killer. All right.
Yeah, I just learned that the hard way.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many restrictions because you only had like 1 or 2 buttons, and it was like this is what 16-bit or 8-bit?
Oh,
16,
16, yeah.
Right, 16. So you had restrictions that you couldn't really do too much of.
Yeah, but you're right. This is very similar to the Aladdin. It's very similar to Cool Spot for sure.
Well, this
which
was-
I don't know
yeah.
why Cool Spot. I played so much Cool Spot, man.
This was a
It's-
game that kind of made fun of itself or made fun of its genre, and knew what it was, and that's why I liked it. Like you had to save Princess What's Her Name.
Yes.
That was like it was beautiful. This is back before I learned what sarcasm was. So, I was really happy that this thing taught me how to be a little bit sarcastic.
Thanks, Earthworm Jim.
Thank you, Earthworm Jim,
Yeah.
for all of your teachings and knowledge. But it was still, I very rarely beat any game because it was just.
Well, you didn't really get to beat. Like, you didn't beat 95% of all the games you got back in these days.
Because
Right.
you had to return it back to Blockbuster before you
Oh,
got charged
correct.
again.
Aside from that, it was just like insanely hard.
Whereas I still don't beat a lot of the games that I play today.
That's true.
Because like
Valid.
there's so many games that like the story is so important, so you have these long campaigns. But then like by the time I get like 80% in, if something else comes out and like there's nothing else happening in the game, I'm just gonna probably not finish
You're
it.
just done.
Yeah.
I have so many unfinished, like 75% of the
Ugh.
way in games.
Yeah, my backlog, that's what I keep saying on multiple shows, is that my commitment to my backlog was taking precedence until Borderlands came out.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh man, there's just so much I know that I'm going to take up from there. So I was just trying to like hammer through Titanfall 2. Never really.
What's the last game you finished, Christian?
Oh, that's a great question. I definitely didn't finish Sekiro. So
no.
that did not happen. for
Sekiro,
me.
Shadows Die 9 million times. That's what that game is called.
I'd say this last year, and I've mostly been playing, like, I've been playing Smash. I played Smash for like 6 months without like playing other games, I feel like.
Wow. Getting through the World of Light and the World of Dark.
No, I didn't even do the World of Light.
Really? You were just smashing it
Oh
up?
yeah,
on the,
just online
Oh,
immediately,
yeah.
day
Oh,
one. Day
damn.
one online.
I like your commitment to pain.
Yeah. Well, I had to get into, Elite Smash. So
Yeah.
once I did that, then I was like, okay, I'll do World of Light. But at that point, I didn't have any unlockables left.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, well, I guess I'll probably just never get back to this. I don't know. I can't even honestly tell you the last game I saw, because I don't play a ton of single player games. So when something like Control comes out, like, and I really like it, it's a big deal for me because I don't play as many single player narrative games. But whereas like Borderlands, I guarantee I'll beat that at least twice. I'm running 3 characters right now.
Oh,
It's
are
like-
you?
Yeah, 'cause
Bold.
I beat Borderlands 1, 2, and pre-sequel at least twice, so I'm sure I'll do this one the same. I just like the different characters so much. Once you beat it once, it's like you can jump in with your friends who are farther in.
And
Yeah,
you know,
For the
totally.
usual, sanity beats us all.
Yeah.
But
Did you play this before you came in?
Just fired it up to make sure it was all running. But
he also got to
Bull.
watch us. He knew
He
where
also
to
got-
go for
That's
the
true.
first half.
I learned from all of your mistakes.
Oh,
I
that's
learned
right.
from you.
oh yeah.
I
you-
learned from watching you.
I learned it from you, Dad.
I always beat
That
the
was a drug
Pokemon games.
PSA, y'all.
That's the one thing that I always
really?
finish
Oh!
every
Well,
time.
Well, we
Let's-
didn't even get past level 1 of freaking Earthworm Jim.
Speaking of Pokemon, we're gonna get into a final segment, and we do this with any new guests on the show. Speaking of Pokemon, by the way, Ash Ketchum, after 22 years, is now a Pokemon
The
League champion.
worst Pokemon trainer ever. Even in season 1, he's like, "Oh, look, I got a Caterpie that turned into Butterfree. You should go be with your friends. Bye. Oh,
He just
Pidgeotto,
let
you're
them all
too
go.
powerful."
He'd train him
He
and be like, bye.
yeah, he kept the worst, and then he couldn't tame the Charizard that he had. And it's like, oh,
I mean, if you look at it a different way, though, right?
frustrate me, Ash.
He runs his journey like he's on a roguelike. Like, he gets to the championship, he gets to the boss, and if he
Mhm.
loses, he starts over every time. Like, everyone else is like, oh, I'm just gonna level up and keep going. I'll just grind here. He's like, no, I'm just gonna have to learn and try again. So if he only beat it, it took him eight times. It was his seventh. It was his seventh try.
Wow.
It's like beating a roguelike on your seventh try. That's actually pretty.
That's
He
true. I
starts
guess
from scratch.
I had much more of a jaded teenager
Yeah.
perspective when I was watching. I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. You keep all the powerful ones and you crush your enemies. Stop. Oh yeah, go Pidgeotto. Go care for other Pidgeys. No, you keep a strong Pidgeotto when you use it to crush people. So, but I do get it.
He
though.
has his passions.
Oh man.
Well,
Love
we want to
that
play a
show.
game with you, Christian.
Okay,
It's very simple.
great.
There are a lot of
He's played well. He's finished a lot of Pokemon games
yes,
too.
yes. So he may know this
it's
one. So
my favorite series, so,
so
I can't wait to
there's a
look
lot
like
of
an idiot.
cryptocurrency projects that sound like Pokemon, and there's a lot of Pokemon that sounds like cryptocurrency projects.
they all have nonsense names. Yes.
So we're gonna play a nice game of shitcoin or Pokemon.
Okay.
It's very
This is
simple.
exciting.
You tell me if it's
Yeah.
a shitcoin or if it's a Pokemon.
He's gonna say a name.
You have
let him know.
14. Right now, I believe she had 11 or 12. I have to go back
Wow, that's
to the
good.
records, but she had
She
11
did
or
pretty
12 out of 14. There's 14 total. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First one, Maractus.
Maractus.
Think. You guys can play at home, by the way.
Man,
Maractus.
there is that one cactus Pokemon, but I don't think that's the name, so I'm gonna say that's a coin. That's a crypto.
It is a Pokemon.
It is?
Oh.
Pokemon.
So that one is a Pokemon. That's the right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
the-
Pokemon,
that's
you
like the
got it.
two-celled one. There's
Oh, I thought that sounded like a disease that you get. Like
yeah.
a
Well, no,
skin
it's
disorder.
based on
It is.
it's based
It's a
on
cell.
it starts out a single cell and then it's a grass type, so it's like solar. solar system.
Jesus. He knows the time.
That's great.
I went
Hey, he's
deep.
played his Pokemon.
I went deep into the Pokemon, into the Pokedex for these. Next up is gonna be Rotom.
Rotom. Oh yeah, that's like the Rotom Dex. That's a Pokemon. That's electric type.
Jeez. Okay.
Oh, he's
Here
good.
we go. Nimic.
Say again?
Mimic?
Nimic. N as in Nicholas. IMIQ.
No, that's not a Pokemon.
That is a shitcoin.
Woo!
Got it.
That's 3.
Queeby. QIIBEE. Queeby.
That's not a Pokemon, I don't think.
That is a shitcoin.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good
See,
job.
there's two ways to play this.
I would have
Think
been
of
doing
Pokemon
terrible.
or
I always do
blockchain
this in my head.
projects.
Yeah.
Botos. BOTTOS. Go into your Pokedex.
Yes.
That also doesn't sound like a Pokemon.
So you're going shitcoin?
Yeah.
It is a shitcoin.
Okay.
Wow. There we go.
Shitcoin.
Okay. Good.
Snetwork.
Whoa.
Snetwork?
SNETWRK.
That's not a
Snetwork.
Pokemon. That's a shitcoin.
That is a shitcoin.
Correct.
Electros.
Electros.
ELEKTROSS.
That could totally be a
Well,
freaking
there's-
Pokemon. But there's so many stupid shitcoin
Yeah,
names.
that could be one of the. Because there's.
You see how he takes these games.
Well,
to
there's
heart, guys.
Elekid, and then there's. No, it's Electabite.
People are watching. People are judging you.
That's. I don't think. Is that a? That's not a Pokemon.
That is a Pokemon.
Ah.
Oh. I
That's
was
a
going to
Pokemon.
say,
Darn
that elect anything, I would have been like, Pokemon maybe?
Yeah.
So
There's
next
so
up,
many with
there's
Elect.
too many. There's next up Zebi, ZEBI. Just think.
Shitcoin.
That is a shitcoin.
Yeah.
Inserum, INSERUM. Inserum.
That's a shitcoin.
That is a shitcoin.
Yeah.
Axew. AXEW.
That's a Pokemon.
That
It's
is a
dragon type.
Pokemon. Look at you. Just flex that muscle, bro. Next up,
Dragon type.
Vest. VEZT.
Wait, what was it?
Vest. VEZT.
That's a shitcoin.
That is a shitcoin.
Yeah.
What for what? What does that project do?
Yeah.
Is it like
they-
NF
put
non-fungible
clothing-
tokens?
they put
No,
clothing
maybe it's
on the
like
blockchain.
invest.
Oh.
Probably. There's
But that's
too many.
Look at
oh,
you.
You know,
Those are all scammy. Anyway.
Fracture. FR.
that's another dragon Pokemon.
That
That's the
is.
Axio evolution.
Okay, look at you. And Esper. ESPURR.
Oh, that's the cat Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boom.
Pokemon.
12.
He only got 2 wrong.
Only got 2
I
wrong.
think
Yeah.
you're pretty
Excellent
damn
job,
close.
Kristen.
Yeah.
That's good.
You are on top of the leaderboard.
He's
sir.
definitely finished his games because he had to know what he was building up, what he was evolving.
The amount
And
of
the-
Pokemons that you've played is amazing, sir. Congratulations. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Well, thank you
It's a
all
great
so much
score.
for joining us today. Again, head over to coinboys.com. You'll get some information from over there. But also follow us at Coinboys Podcast. Follow Christian. Where can they follow you at?
At Christian_Humes, Unranks at Unranked Podcast, and at UFC Pod is my fictional character podcast.
Not the fighting MMA.
Not
the
fighting MMA.
Which is really funny. But yeah.
I would love some.
But
hear
yeah,
some
man,
complaints
thanks for
about that.
joining us,
Thank you
Christian.
so
That was
much.
fun.
Yeah,
That was
it
good
was
times.
a pleasure to be here.
We'll
Yeah.
be back again next week. Ree will probably be back unless she's stuck in New Orleans for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Sam, will you be back next week?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, good. He never leaves, by the way, guys. He's always
We
stuck.
get separation
Help
anxiety.
me.
But thank you all so much. Again, thank you to Mobcrush for giving us this time and space, and we'll see you all next week. Peace, everybody.
Bye, guys.